Hello skiller boxers. Today, we're diving into the 6 main variations of the jab. One of the most important skills in the ring is being able to mix things up and stay unpredictable. So having different ways to throw a jab can be the key to controlling a fight.
The jab is the key.
There's no doubt the jab is the most important punch in boxing.
Cause an injury, and that was a jab!
Many legendary boxers have wielded powerful jabs, but not all use the same type of jab. After studying these boxing greats, we've identified 6 distinct ways to throw this key punch. In today's session, you'll not only learn about each type of jab, but also understand their mechanics and the specific advantages of each one of them. But before we start the breakdown, we wanted to share an update from our sponsor, SHOWTIME, the premier heavy bag companion. App version 1.6 introduces a new training guide with a comprehensive list of techniques required to become fundamentally sound, train smarter and improve faster. Download SHOWTIME today and dominate the opposition. Skiller boxers can save 20% using the code below. Up jab. The up jab, as the name suggests, is thrown with an upward trajectory.
Fight.
Meaning it goes from down to up instead of just straight. So most boxers who use it will do it either from a Philly shell.
Just with that jab, he's gonna have to get physical. Jab and an uppercut. Dangerous punch, right uppercut. Do live, try to counter with the left.
Or a low guard. But having that lead hand at waist level. That way, the jab goes directly from that lower position to the opponent's head. Since it often comes from a bladed stance, it requires less waist movement and shoulder rotation, but instead emphasizes a quick shoulder snap and the movement of the lead arm. This stance also allows for a longer reach, with some boxers stepping in to extend it further. The reason it is so effective is because the opponent has a hard time reading it.
Typically when you throw a jab, you're throwing it from the shoulder area, right? And you're throwing it nice and straight. Now the shot is coming from a lower position. People don't see it coming.
As its starting position is at waist level, it is out of the opponent's center vision, making it much harder to read it as you are about to throw it. If thrown with speed and controlling the distance, it can be an easy to land and unpredictable punch. Power jab. In this case, the stance will be the complete opposite as before. The power jab is often thrown from a squared stance and the higher guard, completely opposed to the up jab. That is why some call it the down jab too. The mechanics will also be very different. In this case, to be able to generate power with the jab, the rotation of the waist and shoulder will be key. The synchronization of your lead foot with your lead hand will be what increases the force of the jab. It is a whole synchronized movement where you step with the lead foot forward, slightly rotating and bringing the shoulder with the punch, so when landing, your whole weight is distributed on the front. This jab has the most commitment and the most power. Many fighters have knocked down opponents with a well-executed power jab, making it a dangerous weapon when mastered.
And fire back rather than running and holding. And now cause an injury, and that was a jab.
Corkscrew jab. The corkscrew jab, or upper jab, is a hybrid between a jab and a long-range uppercut, with the difference that the punch mechanics are those of a jab going on a straight line instead of a looping one. For this jab, you position your weight on the lead leg and drive up and forward simultaneously. It can be thrown both stepping in or in place, and it is thrown usually from a lower guard, to get that upper motion. The most important distinction is the hand position. The hand position will be neutral. That way, it can perfectly sneak through the space in the middle of a high guard. This jab is ideal against opponents who often block or parry straight jabs, as the corkscrew jab can surprise them by sneaking in unexpectedly. Flicker jab. The flicker jab is a low commitment, high volume jab that has been used by many greats, such as Ali or Larry Holmes.
That snakefish jab of yours, where did it come from?
Only quick, which has been almost a year. He went only one. The cut that he has.
You don't punch with a jab, you slap him with a jab. Did you see? You didn't feel that. You felt it, but you didn't feel it.
This jab, similar to the up jab, will usually be thrown from a lower guard, as it requires to be very loose, and the use of the snap of your shoulder to throw it.
He looks strong tonight.
As the name suggests, the idea is to flick the jab instead of trying to go through with the punch.
He's tired of it. I think that's the key. But no, I don't think he is.
Give the warning.
It will be thrown by starting loose, quickly opening the lead and landing with the knuckles at the last second in a whip-like motion.
So I keep it loose, and I hit you from loose, and when I come out, I turn here, and I catch you with the knuckle part.
More of an emphasis on top while they're waiting for the scene. Doubling up on
That last detail is very important, as in boxing, using the back of the glove to hit is actually illegal, and you can get called out for it.
Those shots believes that after made the general, you need quick read for the knuckle.
As mentioned, this is not a powerful punch, and is a much less committed jab, but due to its own nature allows for very fast and high volume punches. Swivel jab. Some of you may already know this risky yet powerful and unpredictable jab from past videos. However, it is still important to remember it, as it can be a great variation to keep in your arsenal.
Manny Pacquiao. Oh, down goes Thurman!
Contrary to the previous jabs that are often thrown as the leading punch, the swivel jab is the last punch thrown in a sequence, as it is started with the ending movement of a rear punch.
Stepping back with his hands down.
The mechanics, as mentioned, follow the ending of a rear punch. When throwing a rear punch, regardless of which punch, the weight is placed forward and the body rotated to the lead leg. From this position, a jab will be thrown, often leaping forward following the inertia of the movement.
Matias.
Keep him up.
Oh, there's a nice.
The mechanics mimic those of a power jab. That is why it is also considered a power punch, and will sometimes lead to unexpected knockdowns.
Мгновение притормозил.
It is also a great tool to gain extra reach after falling short with the rear. But as mentioned, this is also one of the most risky jabs, as it leaves you in a very open position. Stiff jab. The stiff jab is the opposite to the flicker jab. In this case, it will often be thrown from a higher guard, and instead of in a loose way, in a stiff way. Thrown from a high guard, it's executed with tension in the muscles and a rigid arm upon impact.
What was the height?
Instead of flicking, as with the flicker jab, you aim to strike solidly with the knuckles. Though similar to the power jab, the stiff jab involves less commitment, focusing more on speed. Instead of pushing and leaving the lead extended, it comes back to the original stance, allowing for follow-up jabs. It can also be thrown in position, while the power jab aims to punch through stepping in with the lead foot. This is the quote-unquote standard jab, fast, powerful, and can be thrown in position and from the high guard. This is the kind of jab that sounds great on the heavy bag and earns the respect of your opponent.
To the body.
As we've seen, there are many ways to throw this essential punch, each serving a unique purpose. But now, we would love to know your opinion on the comments. Which is your favourite jab? Let us know. And if the video was interesting, you can find more in our channel. And to your left, there's a video specially suited for you.